$30 minimum wage.
A $30 minimum wage. Okay. Now, $30 an hour is a really good wage. So imagine if a kid working at a burger place is making $30 an hour. How much do you need to pay a welder? How are these companies going to afford to pay skilled people, you know? How are they going to afford that? That's what I don't understand. I'm sure some super leftist economist could explain this to me and maybe make it make sense. I'd hope so. I hope somebody would think a little deeper about this. I guess it sounds nice, like, okay, yeah, we need a 30. If $30 an hour is minimum wage, that means like literally the busboy at Chili's is making $30 an hour. So what the fuck are we gonna pay bus drivers who has 30 lives in his hands for 40 hours a week? You know, what are we gonna pay? What are they called? Steel workers. How much are they gonna make? Like, how are these companies supposed to afford this labor? Because you can't just be like, oh, you're going to make the same amount of money as the busboy at Chili's than if you're hanging over steel beams building the skyline of New York City. Like, how are these people supposed to get paid? I don't understand. Like, that's just going to drive everything else up, or am I crazy?
Creation of city-owned grocery stores. It's a
city-owned grocery stores. That is insane, because think about anything that the city runs. If you ever had to go renew the tabs on your car, or if you ever had to go to the DMV, obviously, or think about any time you've ever had to interact with anything government. If you ever had to go on like short-term disability or something like that and have to deal with the state, dealing with the state is literally the worst thing in the world. Now, you want these people, these sloth humans who work for the government, of the bloated bureaucracy, you want them being the ones handling food. I'm not going to lie. Some of the best businesses, Publix, H-E-B, Kroger, some of the best run businesses in our country are grocery chains. So we're going to hand that. And I understand that grocery prices are out of control, but that's because gasoline is so expensive and the trucks have to drive around, which, what are we going to pay the truckers now? How are we going to afford to drive the truckers if we're paying the busboy at Chili's $30, you know? Like, do they not think 2 steps ahead? That's what I never understand about these people.